it's Olivia. If you're new here, I make mostly fashion videos and I would love for you to go ahead and subscribe. I'm also a current student at NC State University. I am a junior in fashion textile management, so I've been doing back to school videos and college videos. If you have any requests, please leave those down below. I'm already back at college. We are in my apartment. I did the college move-in day vlog and I might do an apartment tour, but you can see most of my apartment in that, and I'm actually living in technically the same like style that I lived in last year, so I have an apartment tour up for that last year. And this is like my first day filming in here, so I'm super excited. All of my roommates are gone, so I was like, I'm just gonna do this now so that they're not like, what is she doing? So today I wanted to just talk about the top 10 apps that you need for school. And you might not necessarily need all of these, you might not need to download them right this second, but these are just like the 10 apps that I've noticed myself using in college or that I've needed to have for classes. So I'm just going to talk through each one and we'll go ahead and get started. First on my list is Tap and Go, which is now GrubHub here. They're like together at school. Like we used to only have Tap and Go, but now we have GrubHub and we can use it as Tap and Go, if that makes sense. So basically Tap and Go or GrubHub is like, so you can order your meal on your phone using your like dining dollars, meal swipes, whatever you guys have. You just put in that information, log in with your college, and then you can order from the restaurants on campus and you can just go walk by, pick it up, and then keep on going. You don't have to like make your order in person. You don't have to sit there and contemplate the menu. I love it because I can lay in my bed and just look through all of the food options for as long as I feel like, and then whenever I decide, I can order it and then it's ready in like 6 minutes and I just have to go and pick it up. It's really easy and convenient. If your school has this, this is my like #1 favorite app to use. Like I said, it was Tap and Go, but now it's GrubHub for us, so maybe just like check into that. It's so convenient though whenever you're like on your way to class, especially with Starbucks. Starbucks can be really crowded and really slow, so I always order my stuff on Starbucks because it might take like 20 minutes for them to get it ready because it's so busy. So then you're like aware, you're like, I have 20 minutes to like finish my homework and then I'll go get it or whatever. So #1, Tap and Go / GrubHub. #2 is Rider. It's our bus app at NC State. I don't know if other schools have this. The way the bus system works at NC State is it's just free. It's open to the public. It's open to anybody that gets on it. You just get on it and go. So the bus routes can be a little confusing. We have like 15 or something different bus routes. I have no idea. But if you download the Rider app, you might have to type in Transloc to find it, like TRANSLOC, and then you download Rider. I'll put on the screen a little tutorial of me doing it. I'll just talk you through it. So basically, this is the way that I tell freshmen to use it at first because this is how I used it at first. So you can go to the search bar and type in where you want to go, and then you can read underneath. It'll tell you what bus stop to go to, what bus to get on. If you need to get off and get onto a different bus, it'll like lay it all out for you. But once you get a little more used to it, you mostly just use Rider to figure out when the bus is going to get there and when you can walk out to it. So this is how I use it. So if you see on my map, I have several different bus routes already laid out because I know that these are the ones that I'm going to be using. I live on one campus and have class on another, so I've gotten really familiar with the bus system this year. I can tap on the stop that's closest to me and see whenever the bus I want to get on is going to be on that stop. Then I'll know when to walk out there and all of that. And the best way to figure out what time you're going to get there is to do that searchy thing, but to see whenever the bus is going to get to you, I just tap on it like that. My #1 tip for the bus is like give yourself like 45 minutes between classes because it's a little unpredictable. Even with the app, it can be off and you might not get everywhere exactly on time, but the app is really helpful. So my #2 is Rider or Transloc. My #3 is Uber. You guys need to have Uber for going out so that nobody is stuck driving because it just gets you in like a sticky situation, especially with parking and all that as well. I recommend using the bus as much as you can. It's a great way to save money since it's free. But if you have to go in between campuses and there's no bus, like sometimes on holidays they don't have buses, or late at night sometimes the buses shut off. It just depends on like the schedule that they're currently on. So you might need to use an Uber to get to and from there. I just think that Uber is a really good app to have whenever you're living in a bigger city or in a college setting where you might be going to games, you might be going to parties, and you don't want to be like responsible for driving. Uber's #3. So #4 is Postmates. It's a delivery app service. So again, like Tap and Go and GrubHub, I use those to go and pick up food on campus with my meal plan. And then I use Postmates if I want food that is like out to eat food, but I don't want to go out to eat by myself, you know what I mean? Like I order Postmates and have it brought to me. A lot of people use it again after they go out and they can't like go and get themselves food. You could use Postmates or Uber Eats for that. I personally use Postmates just because I did drive for Postmates a little bit and I still do it occasionally. It's also a good, like, easy way to make money in college. You could drive for Postmates. But so Postmates to have food delivered, again, like if you're living in a big city or just in college in general, I think that's something that college students like. Number 5 is Top Hat. This is an app that I've had to download for a few of my classes. Not all classes will have you do it though, so I would just wait until your instructor tells you, but you might have to. So Top Hat we use to like answer questions in class, and it will record it, so it'll be like a percentage of your grade, and a lot of teachers also use it to record attendance to know if you're there or not. So I've had to download Top Hat for a few of my classes. Next is the Gmail app, because it's very important to get notifications. I personally don't get notifications from my little mailbox app on my iPhone, but whenever I have the Gmail app downloaded, I always get notifications. So log into your school email on that Gmail app so that you know if your teacher says like this is due today, like we don't have class today, don't come, like important things like that. The Gmail app is really important. I also mostly use it to, I think it's thundering. It's also really good if you're trying to like keep up with your financial aid, or if you're like applying for study abroad, or like doing different things that you need to get emails on pronto. Like whenever I get like a financial aid charge, like I want to see that instantly, or like whenever I get rewarded for something, like I want to know whenever that happens instantly. So it's good to have your Gmail app turned on for that. Next is the GroupMe app or the Remind app. You might just have to see what your school uses the most, but I've been in groups with my RA or groups with my like living facility council. Like we have Wolfridge RA council something, and they'll like have food and parties and like free stuff downstairs. This is why you need this, because if you get in the group chat that your like residence hall's in, you'll know whenever they're having events where you can get free food, which is why I've downloaded these apps whenever it's been recommended. There'll also be like in the beginning, I know my freshman year we had an RA and he like put us all in groups, so like we had a suite group chat and like a floor group chat and like a whole building group chat so that we could like talk to each other and meet and whatever. So also clubs might use them, or it might be convenient to use if you're doing group work in college. So people might ask you about GroupMe, and they might ask you about Remind for like a way to communicate. Number 8 is Venmo. I didn't have Venmo until I came to college, and I had to download it because I was in clubs and you had to pay the fee through Venmo, but it's also convenient again if you're like Ubering, or if someone buys you food, you can just like split it or pay them back, or however you need to do. So Venmo is really convenient for that. Number 9 is the Lime Bike app, or I guess Birds. Did they have to have an app? I've never used this stuff, but I know a lot of people do. So we have these bikes and these scooters that you scan and pay for. It's like however much money a minute or whatever, and you can ride them across campus. It's really convenient for a place like NC State that's so big, and then you can just leave it wherever. That's how they work. You just drop them whenever you get to your place, and then like whenever you need another one, you just go find another one, and you pay for them through the app. So we have Lime Bike, but I know Bird is really common as well. And then number 10 is the NC State Guides app, or the on-campus app. So I feel like this is really helpful if you're like touring or about to be in your, it's thundering, or about to be in your like first week of college, because you can use these to see what events are happening on campus. We always have Welcome Week, where again there's like a ton of free stuff and like chances to meet people, chances to learn about clubs. Like we have Packapalooza this week, different stuff like that. So you can download the app for that, and then you can look at like anything that's coming up. I know you have to have the NC State Guides app if you're going through recruitment here, because it'll tell you like what sororities you have that day and like where you need to go and like your schedule, all of that. You need the Guides app for that, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not like misremembering. I know you at least need it in the beginning, but I can't remember if you use it like to find out what houses you're going to, whatever. My point is, if you're a freshman, the NC State Guides app is really helpful for a lot of different things like that. And I was also looking at, you can see like the type of food and like where all the halls are and stuff if you're touring or at orientation, so that could be helpful for that as well. So those are my top 10 apps. I'm sorry if my voice sounded weird. I kept feeling like I was like out of breath. I haven't filmed a sit down video in like a week, so maybe I'm just like not used to it, you know what I mean? But those are my top 10 apps. I think I'm going to do a corresponding blog post and leave that down below as well. So if you just need a reminder and you don't want to rewatch the video, you can check that out. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!